This is not hard-hitting analysis. It's just reality. Duke is the current favorite at ESPN Bet after their commanding victory over Arizona. Cooper Flagg's performance last night left no doubt. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 blocks, and just 1 turnover. That's not just a great game. It's historic. He's only the second player in NCAA tournament history to put up 30-5-5 with just 1 turnover. The only other guy? Chris Mullin in 1985. And if you need a reminder, Mullin was pretty damn good at basketball. Flagg isn't just scoring. He's dominating every facet of the game. His size and versatility create mismatches all over the court, and his ability to distribute the ball makes Duke's offense nearly unguardable. Defensively, he's next level. Rim protection, switching onto guards, covering ground. He does it all. Duke's front line is a problem for everyone. And with Flagg playing at this level, they look almost unbeatable. He's peaking when it matters most, and that's why the Blue Devils are in prime position to cut down the nets in San Antonio. I felt good about my pre-tournament pick. Now, I feel even better, but let's shift gears. Can the Lakers avoid the play-in? I think they can, but I'm not saying it with my chest. Things are trending in the wrong direction. 8 losses in their last 12 games, and the defense has been a glaring issue since the trade deadline. They just aren't stopping anybody. In the last week alone, the Chicago Bulls dropped 146 and 119 points on them in back-to-back games. That's not a winning formula. Post-trade, this was always a concern. J.J. Redick pointed out. Defensive rotations are off, and the Lakers are essentially daring non-shooters to beat them. The problem? Eventually, you run into teams that actually will make those shots. That's what's happening now. LeBron and Luka can still carry the offense, but unless this team tightens up defensively, their ceiling is limited. And right now, there's no easy fix. Switching to the women's tournament. UConn is in familiar territory, but can they finally end their so-called drought? It's been 8 years since their last championship, and for them, that feels like an eternity. But if you want to be the champ, you have to beat the champ, and South Carolina is rolling. They don't have a singular superstar, but they win by committee, and Dawn Staley has them locked in. They won their conference tournament. They've cruised through March Madness so far, and they look like the team to beat. That said, Gino Arima and Paige Buchers aren't going down without a fight. UConn has the longest Sweet 16 streak in women's college basketball history, for a reason. I still lean towards South Carolina, but there's too much respect for what UConn has built to count them out completely. Now let's talk betting. Can Canty hit a best bet again? Look, it's been a rough stretch. But in fairness, the month as a whole has been solid. We're getting off the schneid, starting today. Lock in, tune in, and let's turn it around. And while we're at it, what about Cooper Flagg at the next level? He's going number 1. That's basically locked in. But the real question, where does he land? What if the Washington Wizards get the pick? Would he just roll with it? Or are we going to start seeing top prospects maneuver their way into more desirable situations, a la Eli Manning? The NBA has tried to curb tanking, but let's be honest, it's still happening. Some teams are shutting it down early, while others, like Chicago, are actually winning despite moving key pieces. The league needs to do more to remove the incentive for bottoming out. And if you're Flagg, there are definitely teams you don't want to end up with. Charlotte? Washington? Utah? Philly? That's a mess. Could he turn one of those franchises around? Maybe. But with talent like his, he'll have options. And that could be the next big storyline to watch as we head toward draft season.